In this video, I'm going to explain to you about sequence, where I'm going to explain to you how to use this formula number 1 and also this formula number 2. Okay, for arithmetic sequence where we will be applying the positive and also the negative. Okay, so example like this is the sequence of the numbers. Now we have 2, 5, 8 and 11. So here we will have an increment of a plus 3. So every number here will be plus with 3. And if you notice, this is the first number. So this is the A. So A is 2. And this increment here, we are going to place it as a D. Okay. So now we are going to use this formula. Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 D. Okay. So here we are going to substitute only the A and also the D. So now we substitute with A. So we have here 2. Now for the D, we are going to substitute with number 3. Okay, and then we just have to expand and simplify this. So we'll be having this and 3n minus 1. Okay, so this is the simplified n term, we call it, for this sequence. So this is, now let me erase this. Okay, using this equation, so we have that term 1, term 2, term number 3, and this is the term number 4. Okay, let's say you want to clarify this equation, whether it is correct or not. So we just have to use example, this is the fourth term. So the fourth term means its n is 4. So we just have to replace this, write down this equation and replace this with 4. So here we have n is 4 minus 1. So here we have 12 minus 1, which is equals to 11. Okay, so let's say we have a question of finding the term number 20. Okay, the 20th term. So we just have to make the n as 20 and we will repeat the process again. So the n will become 20. So 3 times 20 minus with 1, and you'll be getting here 60 minus 1, and this is your term 20. Okay, so let us move on with the next one. Okay, whenever we have a geometric sequence, example like we are going to multiply or divide. Okay, so this is a geometric sequence. So now we have 2 to 8. So here we'll be multiplying with 4, and here we are going to multiply with 4. So this is the A, and this one we call it as a common ratio. So which is we call it as a R. R is 4. So for this we are going to use a different formula, which is A multiply with R power of n minus 1. So this is the formula we are going to use for geometric sequence. Okay, now we just have to substitute the A and also the R. So A is 2, R is 4, power of n minus 1. Okay, so we can even simplify this to make it 2. Now the 4 is 2 power of 2, and here will be n minus 1, and we just have to simplify this, and okay, these 2 will become 2 power of 1 multiply 2 power of 2n minus 2, and we just have to simplify this. So we got here 2n minus 2 plus with 1. So your n term for this equation here, you have 2 power of 2n minus 1. Okay, to clarify whether this equation is correct or wrong. So this is the, I'm going to erase this part. Okay, this is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. So let's say we want to check for the second term. where we are going to use the n as 2. So we just have to write down this equation and replace the n with 2, and we will be having 2 power of 4 minus 1. So 4 minus 1, you'll be getting here 3, which will give you 8. Okay? Okay, now let's say we are looking for another term, which is term number 5. So we just have to replace the n with 5. So for example, so here we have 2 power of 2 multiplied with 5 minus 1. So here we'll be having 10 minus 1, so here we'll be getting 9. So which is equivalent to 512. Okay, this is the answer. This is one of the past year questions. So let us give a try. Okay, 6a, the n term of this sequence is this, n square. Okay, n square plus 3n, and find the first 3 terms of this sequence. So in this case, we just have to replace the n with 1. So this is the Pn. So this is the working. Now we just have to replace with 1. So here you'll be getting here 1 plus 3, so which will be getting here 4. And write the another thing here 2. So 2. So here we have about 4 plus with 6, which will be, it will give us 10. And the third one, 3 square plus 3n. So here we have here about 9. And the n here, I replace it with number 3. So 9 plus 9, we are getting here about 18. So this is our sequence for this answer. Okay, now let us look at the next one. Okay, these are 5 first 5 term in this different sequence. So okay, now we have the 25, 18, 11, 4 and negative 3. So now let us look at the difference they have. So here we will have a difference of a negative 7. This will be negative 7, negative 7. So it is a arithmetic, so it's a plus or minus. So we can use this formula. So now the A is this 25 and this is the D. So we just have to replace this 25 plus and minus 1. So the D here will become negative 7. So here we have negative 7 and plus 7. And we will have here 32 minus 7n. Okay, so this is your n term equation for this question. Okay, find the nth term for this sequence. Okay, now here 8 to 17, so we have here about 9, and 17 to 32 here we do have about 15, and 53 to 32 we have here about 21, and here we do have 80 minus 53, so this is about 27. So if you notice, it is not the same, right? It is not the same. So in this case, I'll be teaching you a new technique where we place this in a vertical form, all the numbers, okay, all the numbers, and then we are going to play with n. This is like something like a try and error. So n, we have there 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now we try with n square, so which is 1, 4, 9. So 4 square you got here about 16, and here we do have about 25. Now let us try with n cube. So n cube, here we have 1, and this is 8. And here we do have 3 square, you're getting here about 27. 4 square is 64. And this is 1, 2, and 5. Okay, now if you notice that the n here and the number that we list down over here is like so, the difference is very far. Okay, the difference is very far. So we cannot use this. Now let us try with n square, or maybe we can try with the n cube here. So if you notice the difference between 1 and 8, and each number here, the difference is increasing, especially this. So we don't see a pattern over here. So we are just going to erase this, and we are going to play with the n square. So now from here we have to multiply. Let's say we multiply with the 3n, let's say, for example. Okay, so each of these numbers will be multiplied with 3. So we got here about 3, 12, and here is about 27, 48, and here we have about multiply with 3. So here we got about 75. Now can you see a similar pattern between this number and this number for each? So they have to plus with 5, right? They just have to plus with 5. So in this case, we can conclude that this n term we have is 3n square plus with 5. This is the n term. Now just to try, we will start with the third term. The third term, okay, number 3. So we try with 3, n is 3. So this one here will become 3 square. So here we have about 3, and 3 square here will be 9 plus with 5. So it's 27 plus 5, you'll be getting here about 32. Yes. So this is how to get the answers for these type of questions. Okay, another example. Now find the n term. Okay, so here we have plus with 1, plus with 7, and here will be plus with 19. So the number is not the same over here. So we can use the similar method. So okay, over here I'm going to list down all the numbers: -1, 0, 7, 26, and 63. So maybe we can exclude the last number. Okay, now we go to n. Okay, now we go to n. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we try with n square. 1, 4, 9, and 16. Okay, so this number is already over than this, so we can hold on. So we don't have to necessarily use the cube number, so we can just try with this. So now we can multiply. Just in case, we just have to write down the cube number here. So we have that 1, 8, and here you have that 3 cube. Here we have about 27, and here's about 64. Alright, so if you notice, the number is related to the previous number. Now look at here. So let me erase this. Let me erase the n and also the n square. So now look at this. Okay, so they are related to here. So now I'm going to rearrange it again to make it 0 first. So here we have 0. Okay, and here will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. So here we do have 1, 8, and here we do have about 27. Okay, now if you notice the pattern here, this is so you do have the pattern, right? So we can erase the in between one. So now we are going to deduce the formulas. So in this case, how do we deduce the formula? So we just have to play around with this, the n. So put the n minus 1 and power of 3. Okay, so the second term, so this is the term number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we go for term number 2. So 2 minus 1 power of 3. So this one will become, so here, look at here, the answer is 1. So what we have to do here, we have to put here minus 1. So you'll be getting here 0. Okay, so now let us try with this equation. So now let's say we go for term number 3. So now we have that 3 minus 1. So here we have 2 power of 3 minus 1. So it's 8 minus 1, we are getting here about 7. So yes, it's correct. So we have to use this formula. Okay, so this is for sequence.